everybody. Welcome to art class. It's me, Matthew Reinhart. I'm so glad to be back. Oh yeah, it's great to be back here and teaching another art project together. And today, well, I thought we would make something cool, something that I remember making when I was a kid. I loved doing them, making a mobile. Have you ever, you know what a mobile is? It's one of those hanging sort of sculptures, and it has usually objects that are hanging from string or something else, and you can hang it in your room, and the wind sort of makes them move, and it looks really cool. I used to love making them as a kid. Sometimes I would make them like with dinosaurs or birds or whatever, and today we are going to make our very own, and it's inspired by an artist that I really liked. As I got older, I learned that there was a lot of really cool artists that make mobiles, and one of my favorites is Alexander Calder. Alexander Calder was an American sculptor best known for his hanging mobiles, and what they are is they're like kinetic, movable structures and sculptures. And Alexander Calder lived from 1898 to 1976, and despite such a long life and so much art created, he actually didn't want to be an artist when he started out. He wanted to be an engineer. And when he was serving on a ship as a young man, he witnessed a sunrise and a full moon at the same time, looking in both directions on the water. And he was so stunned by it that it sort of changed his life, and he decided to pursue art. And once Calder decided to be an artist, he just didn't stop. He built large-scale hanging mobiles with sheet metal and large metal rods. He made these enormous abstract outdoor monuments cut from steel, and he also made a lot of smaller scale models sculpted from wire, and so they were either abstract shapes or representational. And he loved circuses, so he made this whole wire circus. It was really cool. Much of his work moves by passive means, which means whether it's air or by someone's touch. If you want to look into Calder's life and his work even more, you can go to calder.org and check it out. All right, now that we've been inspired by Calder, let's make our own mobile. Let's get started. So let's make our own mobile. All right, first we're going to need a few supplies, right? So we're going to use, for our project today, we're going to need about 10 paper clips, okay? And just, small ones that are easy to bend, because we're going to bend them with our hands. We're going to need some string. I don't know, about 2 to 3 feet of string. We'll need something to color with, so you can use markers or crayons or colored pencils or whatever. That's cool. We'll need lots of like scrap paper. So I have just a bunch of different stuff, whether it's construction paper, different colors, or cardstock, or just even regular paper, because we're not going to make anything that really stands. But I would suggest construction paper or cardstock. And I have just a big pile of different colors that are scraps. We're also going to need a strip of like corrugated cardboard. So this is just from a box. See, this is corrugated, means that it has that paper inside is folded like that. Just like a regular box. And I just cut a strip of it. We're going to use maybe 1 or 2 strips like this, just in case we screw up. So we're going to need that. A ruler would help. And let's see. Oh, glue and tape. One-sided tape would also help, because we're going to be assembling a few things. And of course, scissors. All right, let's start with, so to hang this, we're going to actually have to make a structure, like a main strut that all of our objects hang off of. Okay, so let's start with this first piece of corrugated cardboard, or whatever, the strip of cardboard that we cut. All right, now you have to be careful sometimes, because cardboard, sometimes it can bend, right? So we don't want to hang it going flat this way, see, because look, it'll bend if we have things hanging off of it. So we're actually going to have this be the top, and this is going to be the bottom, where we're going to have some things hanging off. All right. So you're not going to want to be hanging stuff going this way. You're going to be hanging them off this bottom part. And let's start by adding. What we're going to do first is we're going to add some paper clips on the bottom. We're going to add them and tape them on, just like this. I'm going to use some one-sided tape, and I'm just going to tape it See how I taped that on there? just like that. Now, if it doesn't tape just right, you can also do this. If we want to really get it in there good, we can use our tape like this. See how I just cut it thinner? I'm going to stick it in there like that. And the reason why I'm doing this, I want to make sure that that doesn't slip out. See how I'll just do that again. Let's put another one. So I'm going to take this, and we want to put about, let's put 5. 5 is a nice number. And then let's secure it. And there you go, and they're all secured on both sides. See, I used a little bit of tape. See that? Loops it through, and now they're all secured. Now, if you wanted to, you could use a glue gun to glue them into place, but this, I think, works nicer. All right, so here is our main strut, and we're going to have things hanging off of that main strut. But you know what? I think we should cover this because it's kind of, well, I'm going to admit it, it's kind of ugly. Don't tell anybody. All right, so let's cover this with some of our paper. And you know, I've been thinking about what I'm going to make. I think I'm going to make a fish mobile. So I'm going to have fish hang off it so it looks like they're they're like swimming. So I think the top of this, I'm going to use some blue to cover it. And I'm going to make it kind of look like some ocean waves. So maybe I'll just cut a shape. And I want to make sure that the shape is, let's see, can I get it to fit right there? That's pretty good. That'll work. Let's see, I'm going to do it this way. And what I want to do is to get a pencil. Oh, I forgot to say, we need a pencil. Okay, so we are going to make a shape that goes over this. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace the bottom, because we need to have those loops exposed on the bottom. But the top can be whatever shape you want it to be. And I think I'm going to make it look like, I don't know, like waves, something like that. See how I kind of drew that? And then we'll just cut it out. All right, so I have made the one piece that's going to go over. This is going to cover, right, our main central strut. But we need to have 2 of those. So I made a second one from my scrap blue paper. So we need 2 of these shapes. And I just traced it and cut a second one. Okay, so we've got 2 of them. And what we're going to do is we're going to cover this. We're just going to add some glue. Or you could use tape if you really wanted to. Let's use some glue here. And we're going to glue it right over the top, just like this. I'm just pushing it down and holding it. See how I did that? And I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to glue this just like this. All right, so put some glue on the opposite side, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use a little scrap from one of my other strips. And because I have this extra space up there, I kind of want to fill it a little so that there isn't any open space between these 2. Let's see here. I'm just going to do this. See how I'm just kind of filling in this area? I don't want the cardboard to show. And I'm just going to glue that right there. Oh, and I've got some more. Here, I could use some of that. Let's see, I'll use another one. I'm just kind of, see how I'm filling that in just a bit? Because those little ridges are going to be free. And we want to, oh, there we go. There, I'm just going to glue that, fill that. Maybe a little one here. You could get really crazy with it. I'm not going to get too crazy. That's good enough. Those three are the tallest ones. I'm going to put some glue on top of there. And then I'm going to take this, glue it, and put it right on top. And you see why I added those little bits in there? See, this way, these weren't so empty underneath there, and they're a little stronger. All right, so this is the strut, and we're going to hang things down from this. All right, let's start the next part. All right, next what we're going to do is we're going to actually make the sculptures, the paper sculptures that are going to hang off of each one of these paperclip hooks. Okay, so this could be whatever. This is free form. Okay, you can make shapes. Like, so sometimes if you saw Calder, his work, he just made wild, simple shapes. You know, maybe teardrops, or he made all different kinds of just plain shapes, circles, squares, whatever inspired him. And you could do that. Or we could make shapes, paper shapes that are things, like they could be birds, they could be planes, they could be spaceships. If you like certain characters, like let's say you love Star Wars, maybe you make all Star Wars characters. You can use any sort of shapes that you want. You can make any sort of paper sculptures to hang off of your mobile that you like. I'm going to make, I think, let me think. I think I'm going to make, since I've made water, right? I think I'm gonna make different fish. So I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna make, but you don't have to make the same thing. You can make whatever shapes you like. So I think I'll get started. Why don't you get started too? All right, so I made all my paper sculptures that are going to go underneath and be part of my mobile. Here's one that is a squid, and it's like I just made a cone out of paper and taped some things together and glued it and made some eyes, and it's a paper squid. Here is an anglerfish, and some of these are more 3D, and then other ones are just flat, and I just added pieces onto it just to give it a little dimensionality. This is a jellyfish. I couldn't even say. I could really go for some jelly beans right now. And here's a little clownfish. He's really simple. You know, like some of these are just cut out. Now remember, you don't have to make everything be fish. You could make them be any shapes you want. And then this one, like, and they don't have to be 3D either. They could just be simple flat shapes like this, because Calder actually made shapes that were flat. Even though they were made of sheet metal, they were pretty flat. They were pretty 2D. So this fish here doesn't have any dimensionality. So I have a whole bunch of different things. And now what we're going to do is they're going to attach to this. This is going to be our main piece, and they're going to hang off of it. But let's first start out. We need to make some little hooks on all of these different sculptures. So let's take, oops, don't throw that too far. We're going to take each one of these paper clips. We're going to find a space on top of our each one of the sculptures, and we're just going to clip it there, and we're going to use some tape. Hi tape. You're one of my friends. We love tape, don't we? Tape is pretty much a magical material, isn't it? You can pretty much do anything with it. So almost anything, that is. And we're going to tape this into place right there. See how that goes? Okay, there's one. That one's taped on there pretty good. Let's do another. Now you're going to notice that when I tape these on, first I sort of clip them onto the object, kind of like that. And I just do some tape over it. I just place some tape right on top. And then if it's coming over the side, now make sure that if some of your tape is coming over the side and it's sticky, make sure you do one of two things. Make sure you either cut it off or you fold it over, which I did right there. All right. Let's find another spot. Let's see. Ooh, this guy. This guy needs a clip. Let's clip it just like that. Use some tape. You can use it on either side. You could even use it on both sides if you wanted to. Just like that. Oops. See, look, I got tape over the edge. What do? Just cut it off. You don't want any tape sticking out that is sticky on one side because stuff will get stuck to it, all right? So once you have made, ooh, this guy's gonna be hard. Where should I put it? I think for this guy, if you have something that's more 3D like this, let's find a place. Ooh, there's a good spot. Maybe I'll tape it right there, just like that. And I'll use my tape again. And again, I'm just using one-sided transparent tape for this part. All right. So now we have little hooks to hang things on. Oh, ooh, I forgot this fish. Don't forget me. Don't forget me. It's pretty bright in here, isn't it? There we go. So we're going to put this clip kind of in the middle of the shape, just like there and there. All right, so we've got all 5 of our paper sculptures all ready. Next, I'm going to use some string. Okay, so I'm going to use some of this string, and I'm going to make it about, maybe a little, like a foot long or so, a little over a foot. Don't have to be exact. All right, so there's one piece. I'm going to tie it to the underside, one of these loops underneath our main strut, our main hanging strut, right? And I'm just going to tie it, I'm going to double knot it. And we're gonna add string to all of these. Okay, so I added the string to each one of those loops, each one of those paper clip loops. I'm just gonna cut off the excess string because we don't want that around. Don't cut it too close to the knot you made because sometimes the knot will come undone and you need something to grab onto, right? Okay. So, because I have done that before and then the string comes out. So there is our strings. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start experimenting and seeing how far up we want to add our sculptures. And you can change it's cool if you have different ones at different lengths, so they all don't run into each other. So I'm going to add different ones in here. And this is the fun part. You can experiment a little. So there's not going to be a right or wrong way. Now you're just going to tie and loop your other sculpture pieces onto. See how they're starting to hang? Now we're gonna tie them onto the main or onto each one of these strings. Okay, there it is. There is the top strut that we have, and I've tied on all these. Oops, if you have extra long string on some of these pieces, just cut it off, just like we did up above. Now I really, I played around with the different lengths of the string so that all the different pieces that would hang, the sculptures that hang out, wouldn't run into each other, and they would look kind of good, and they would be a little different. Okay, so now let's look at it. Let's look at it this way. Ooh, yeah. Get to see some of my studio in the background. Look at how they're hanging. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So there it is. Let me see if I can pull away. Ooh, there it is hanging. It's hard to see. Come on back here. So now you can see how they're sort of hanging, and there's the top part. Isn't that cool? All right, so now we need to figure out something for the top. We have to hang something up here so we can hang it from the ceiling. All right, so let's do that. Okay, so I've added all my paper sculptures, my fish or whatever, that are going to be hanging from my mobile sculptures, all from my top strut here, right? And I kind of played around with the different lengths of string because, some fish I want to be lower than others, and you don't want them all to be on the same level. You want them to be in different ones so that they can move and rotate and all that kind of stuff. So it took me a little while to get them just right, but that's what it is. When you're making stuff like this, when you're making an art project, there's not always just a rule the way that everyone should, ones that everyone should follow. You kind of have to experiment a little, okay? So we've got all of those sculptures going. Now we need to actually add string to the top of this so we can hang it from the ceiling, okay? So this is the top strut. So let's just use some string. Here we're gonna need some more string. Oh, but first we're gonna need to poke a couple of holes in the top of our strut here. I already did it. You can use, sharp pair of scissors and just poke it all the way through. You could use a hole punch, or you could use a sharpened pencil to just poke it through there. I use these scissors. And if it's hard for you to do to poke through some, ask someone older who can do it. You can use a sharp instrument, okay? So if you're not comfortable, get somebody else to help you. All right, and then we're going to use this paper clip, and we're going to actually thread the paper clip through the hole. See, I'm just kind of threading it through. I'm going to turn on the light so you can see it better. There's one. Let's take another one of these paper. Come here, paper clip. Here, I'm going to show you. So you know how a paper clip, if you look, let's see, let's turn on this light. There we go. See how the paper clip is? And it's open down. See how this little open side here? So we're going to feed it right through the hole. See how I did that? And then sort of keep turning it and turning it. And there you go. Now we have two hanging. We'll get those guys to hang down there. All right, so now we have two paper clips hanging through the holes. We can take our string. And the reason why we're going to use some string for this too is this way. We're going to tie the string in the top of there's a lot of tying, right, in this project. Now let's see, there we go. There's one side. You're going to knot it. Make sure you knot it. That's not a knot. Bad joke. Bad joke, right? Knot jokes are always difficult. All righty, there we go. And there's another. Let's knot it one more time. Just like that. Okay. And now we can hang it from the ceiling. All right, let's look at it from another way so we can actually see it hang. Ooh, it hangs nice. Look at that. We made our very own mobile. Wow, that was a really fun project. I love making these, and I think I'm gonna hang this one in my studio. It looks really good. So we got the string, we got our paper clips that we used as hooks, a little bit of cardboard underneath that main strut, and some tape and a little glue, and our very own hanging sculpture, our kinetic sculpture. What is it? It's a mobile. Well, thanks everyone for joining me today with our art class project. It was really fun. This was actually a lot more fun. I hope you've enjoyed today's art class. If you have ideas for new art classes that you'd like me to do, just let me know in like on my social media, like Instagram, Facebook, and let's see, and in YouTube, or you can go to my my website, MatthewReinhart.com, and you can leave a comment, and maybe I'll get to your art project idea. But this is today's art project, a mobile. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And hey, if you want to get notified for next upcoming videos, you hit the bell down below and you'll be notified whenever I have another video, whether it's a pop-up video or a pop minute or a masterclass video or even another art class video. I'm going to try to get back into doing at least one every week. So I hope you've enjoyed the mobile. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.